How to turn a boy into a man. Our society seems to have no answer to this question. It didn't used to be so mysterious or fraught with controversy. You were a man if you passed your initiation as a man. Good morning, friends. Today, my youngest son will be joining us for this long run. For us, this has always been a way that we have of initiating the ones that are going from childhood into manhood, this way of proving yourself, doing something difficult. Today's initiatory experience consists of trail running the Dawson Pitamakan Loop in Glacier National Park, 18 miles up and around some formidable peaks, offering unparalleled beauty and a fitting challenge for a 12-year-old. There he is. Here's our initiate here. How you feeling about this, Owen?
Good. I guess excited. Maybe a little scared in a way.
Okay, ready to go?
Yeah.
Now, will this one experience make Owen a man? Of course not. Perhaps the best way to see this is that this is the initiation of his initiation. This is his initiation out of childhood and into the multi-year process in which he'll be something more than a child, but something short of a man, a youth, a young man. It used to be the case that societies could take young initiates somewhere in their teen years and, in a concentrated experience of months or a couple of years, put these youths through powerful, painful, and dangerous rituals and ordeals with instruction by holy men and masters who had walked the path before them. We're talking things like circumcision, 40 days of fasting, climbing treacherous mountains, ritual death, some pretty serious stuff. Many couldn't hack it. But we don't do that kind of stuff anymore as a society, and it's not coming back anytime soon. Too many lawyers around. All right, we've gotten to a little more of the uphill as we get into the miles approaching Dawson Pass. Owen, we're a little over 3 miles into this. How's it feeling?
Getting kind of hard. Hurts in the legs just a little bit. Okay. We'll just keep on going.
My intuition is that turning a boy into a man today, if it's going to happen at all, is going to take far longer, something like a decade. My older boys are hopefully nearing the end of that process, and they began exactly back where Owen is today. One reason this is a great first initiation for Owen is that it's about the exact same distance that I once took the two lads behind me on some sort of initiation, even though I didn't know, what I was doing at the time, but in the Tetons to essentially do a trail run / hike of about the same distance, 19 miles.
I've just been having like flashbacks and memories to that whole thing. Even just some of the same scenery, even though it's a different place. Maybe you're running downhill and you're like, oh, I remember a moment when we were going downhill and there was a valley and it really hurt. I would say I remember that run being a real challenge, which was really good because that whole idea of it being a rite of passage or initiation, it came to be that in a lot of ways, because from there it felt like, because I'd been able to do that, I felt, I guess, more capable, definitely humbled by it for sure, because it was, by the end, it was sore legs and probably some dehydration if I remember right. But from then on, I always remembered I could kind of look back to that experience and think, oh, I've done that. And then eventually what came of that is that running became a much bigger part of my life and me and Robbie's life, and I think we can always look back to that experience to kind of give us a foundation to run on, but also just to live on as well. So why do I feel like I have to do it like this, by myself, alone as a father? In the past, it was your broader community that would have taken care of this initiation.
Well, what ritual we have left today in things like Boy Scouts, or, excuse me, I stand corrected, Scouting, and things like high school graduations and sports, is really quite bland and harmless, catered to the least common denominator, and hence impotent, in my opinion. And you can't, or I should say shouldn't, just make ritual up, even if it's with a group of people. It has to be passed down or it will come off as contrived, especially when it's sold for money as something like a week-long retreat. This then is the dilemma today of a dad like me. If society can't offer potent ritual to initiate, but if I also can't just make stuff up because it will come off as cheesy and sentimental, how then does someone like me initiate their boy? Well, like most dads, I don't really know what I'm doing, but my best attempt at an answer to this problem is to put my boys through things that are 100% real over the course of this decade of initiation. So one thing I've been thinking about out here is the question, why have almost all male initiations been done out in the wilderness? Because you'll see that across time, across cultures. And I think a huge reason is out here, there's no hiding, there's no pretending. It's just pure reality. Most of the places we put kids in these days, from toddlerhood all the way through university, are really just bubbles and simulations where we can keep them nice and protected with padded environments and affirmations and safe spaces where they can go and, I don't know, suck their thumbs and talk to their therapist or whatever happens there. I admit I don't know, because for years I've avoided any institutions that operate that way, which is pretty much all of them these days. Leaving childhood, in my opinion, is about confronting reality in all of its awfulness and all of its beauty. And there's no quicker place you can confront a child with that than the mountains and the deserts and the oceans. Thank God America is filled with some of the finest examples of these in creation. Out here, without any words being needed, a boy will learn that life is hard. Nothing good comes cheap. A boy will learn that they are not that important. Sorry, bucko, it's true. They'll learn that they're not in control of most things. And they'll learn that death is real and it's coming. So you can choose to fight it, or you can accept it, and you can learn to die before you ever die. So, and the reality about these things is that this is the part that makes or breaks you, because you've already seen the most beautiful vistas, you've already done the most exciting things. Now it's just a long trail home, oftentimes a death march. So you think you're gonna make it?
Yeah.
I think so too. You've held up pretty good. I think that if a boy can learn to accept all these realities and respect them and not fight against them, well, reality is actually really beautiful as well. And out there, you'll also learn that under certain conditions, she will let you climb her peaks and surf her waves and discover her secret parts. One part of doing this initiation with people who have gone before you and walked the path is that they are living proof around you that it can be done. Again, no words are necessary to make this point. And they can also bring you into those things, reserved for the mature, but in the right way and at the right time. This was Owen's first cup of coffee, and his brothers made sure he got the good stuff, as potent and initially off-putting as that can be to those just leaving childhood tastes.
You want some?
All right,
what are we at? Something like the last mile and a half. This is where you always wish you were done, but you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, do you know you're gonna finish?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the bag, basically.
Yeah.
We just gotta get up and do it.
Yep.
There's the beginning sign. All right, here we go. Always the best part.
So, Owen, you know, he took it well. Stoic, in the better sense of that word. Quiet, no complaints. The older boys and I were impressed. Like I said before, I figure it's going to take a lot of years to turn a boy into a man in this strange, upside-down world we're living in. But it's no small moment when all three of your sons are finally on that path together.
Whew. Here I am with Owen. We're done. So, I just wanted to real quick recap what it is you proved here exactly. Do you think you know?
That I can run 18 miles.
There's that.
Hike and run.
But even more important is that you can hang with the guys, right? Because this was a formidable challenge for all of us, and you did it, right? Without complaint, which means you can now hang with the fellas, right? You kind of passed that threshold, let's say. So it means you're no longer boy, no longer child. You can hang with the guys. Now there's still a long road to manhood, let's say, but this is an important thing to learn, huh?
Yeah.
Now about that coffee you saw my older boys making. These were single origin beans from Yemen that my sons had roasted themselves by hand. One of their final steps in their initiation into manhood is learning to provide for their people. So they have started a business and are offering single origin coffees from around the world for sale online. They may be young, but this is no lemonade stand. The quality of these coffees is as good as anything out there. Learn more at their website, nuila.us.